Aapo Deepo bhava. Be your own light. Actually, you are your own light. You have to just recognize that you are your own light. The awareness, the consciousness, the knowingness that we all are is that one common aspect of each one of us that is called Satya or truth. We start walking the spiritual path thinking that we will find that truth, that which we could not find on the path of samsara, maybe on the path of adhyatma, it will be found. We think there is something to unearth. We feel there is something to find. And when you keep running after different scriptures, different masters, different practices, you come to a point where you realize that the awareness has always been where it always was. You have always been at home. सफर खूबसूरत है मंजिल से भी. The entire journey of getting there is more beautiful than the destination itself. There are two parts to this journey. The journey to God and the journey within God. Or you can call it the journey to awareness and the journey within awareness. I have spoken enough about the journey to awareness in all the sessions of Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Vashishta, Patanjali, Ashtavakra, Narada, Buddha, as well as Ramana Maharshi. What about the journey within awareness? Most of us have reached that awareness. We get there. We recognize that I am not that separate I, that separate self. We recognize that we are part of this all-pervading oneness. And then we lose it. And again we go back to our practices, hit the cushion, back to our scriptures, and again we find ourselves there in that oneness, in that awareness. But again we lose it. Actually, it's not lost. It's just that the clouds have now covered the sun. The sun is always there. You cannot say that the sun is not there. The sun is always there. It gets covered by the clouds of my own conditioning. These clouds become thinner and thinner, and then at a point they become so thin they are almost gone and the sun shines through again. We recognize the futility of the separate self. We keep recognizing the futility of this ego identifying with people, situations and things and getting caught up in them. But again we lose it. Again after a few days, again you recognize the futility and again you lose it. Why? Futility brings along with it natural dispassion from the separate self. The separate self does not like this. It cannot tolerate this kind of being ignored, and therefore it hits back even with a stronger raga or dvesha, a stronger craving or aversion. And that craving or aversion again clouds the sky. Again the sun is hidden and you are lost and consumed in this world of people, situations and things. And then the separate self brings up some or the other excuse. Like, oh, you are a mother or you are a father, you have to take care of your kids. You cannot be dispassionate like this, or you cannot see the futility of this job. You have to become the CEO of this company, or you have to get this kind of a position or salary. And you brush your awareness under the carpet. You push it away, and then you come back to what you were doing and you start running again. And the clouds cover the sun again. Again, with some practice, some wisdom, again in the clouds move away, the sun shines. You come to that state of awareness. And in that awareness, again, a recognition of the futility comes up. The pointlessness of it all comes up. You recognize how impermanent everything is and how it causes you suffering. You see the truth as it is. You abide in that peace, and just then the separate self comes up again like a joker, wearing another hat this time. He brings up craving for money, or craving for having that jewelry, or craving for that new car on the market, or that new gadget. And even if you come up with the truth that it is all futile, the separate self again appropriates you, again pulls you into this world of samsara. It consumes you. You push this awareness, this recognition under the carpet again and get lured into the samsara. The shuttling continues. Many things can consume you, but recognize they are your own conditioning. I just gave you a couple of material world examples that can consume you, but there are even the spiritual world examples, like pressure. There is a lot of pressure on the spiritual path by your own spiritual colleagues. Oh, you have done only one retreat, you did not do a second retreat. This is what I call spiritual pressure. Don't succumb to such things. Everybody has their own path. Everybody will grow at their own speed. So don't give into spiritual pressure. While walking on the path, people, because of their previous spiritual conditionings, start expecting that there are going to be mystical and mythical things happening. There will be some miracle happening on this retreat now, because everybody is talking about it. And then you land up at the retreat with this expectation of a miracle, but there is no miracle happening there. These are anyway fake ideas, fake concepts that the separate self had created. You don't need millions of years of practice. There is no sin to wash away. There is no magical or mystical things to happen for you to get there. There is no blessing or grace that will shower from the heavens above on you. It is very simple. It is already there. You are awareness. Wake up and just light that lamp of awareness. The shuttling continues. The aware and wise one recognizes that it is my own journey. All those things that I have fueled in the past, those are the only things that keep coming up. It is my own conditioning. Time and again, he lets it go. He lets it go. He drops it. A point comes when the separate self exhausts itself. It bothers you less and less. It does not mean that you don't have feelings, perceptions, ideas, concepts come up. You do. But they are more like strangers passing on the street rather than friends sitting in the living room and constantly chatting away with you. They keep coming and passing away. They keep coming and passing away. No sensation, no perception, no feeling, no thought, no idea, no concept holds on to you very long. Their hold becomes less and less. This automatically translates into longer periods of awareness. This automatically translates into you being able to rest in that peace. That peace that comes out of knowing your own being. You are awareness. Right now, you are aware of me. You're aware of me speaking to you. You're aware of sight as well as sound. Take a step back to the common place where the sight and sound meet within you. Are you aware of awareness? Just be there. It's that simple. Every time you get pulled out by the objects of the senses, go back to the common place. Back to where awareness resides. And just be in awareness. That awareness itself is alive. It is conscious. It is consciousness. That awareness alone knows. It is knowingness. When you recognize this truth, the knowingness of awareness itself becomes peace. Ananda is not ecstatic state. Ananda is that continuous straight line of equanimity of peace that is there just by the knowing of the being. You can be in this samsara, walking, talking, doing everything while being in that awareness. Awareness itself in action is the mind. Mind at rest is awareness. They are not two. The mind does not really exist. Recognize this truth. Drop all these gimmicks of the mind, all these fake beliefs. I have to practice, I have to get there, I have to let go of this, I have to let go of that, I have to serve this, or I have to run after that teacher, I have to follow the words of the scripture. All these are the gimmicks of the separate self, appropriating the awareness to perpetuate itself. Recognize this truth and Aapo Deepo bhava. Be your own light. Happy Diwali and a very happy New Year.